That's right. Greetings, fellow Armchair Imagineers. Tiki here. And we are with the So You Want to Be an Imagineer Season 20 Final 3. Give it up in alphabetical order. It's Pie.
Woo! That's the middle.
Yeah, O comes first.
Oh, you're right. Oh my God. Wow.
In non-alphabetical order.
It's OSU.
Woo!
I think what happened was I was thinking Phantom. Which Pie still
Also,
God, that's still wrong.
I'm still in the middle, bro.
I was gonna let you have that one.
Oh man. And Tegan, we have Tegan.
We definitely know T comes after P. Yay, Tegan.
Yes. Oh, Tiki forgot his alphabet. Yeah, what else is new?
Outstanding.
All right. So guys, we have a bunch of questions for y'all for the final 3. But at first we are going to start with opening statements. And in order to decide the order, we're going to have ourselves a little coin toss tourney right now.
I actually have a question first.
Yes.
Tiki, why did you not introduce your co-host?
I'm terribly sorry, Goofy. I'm terribly sorry.
That was incredibly rude. I am Goofy Yuck Yuck.
No,
I basically make this podcast. Tiki would be lost without me. And
he's not lying because he's got all the notes for the questions. He's not lying.
All right, let's do this.
He's getting the yuck yuck.
Okay. How are we going to do this between 3 people, guys?
You need a 3-sided coin.
I know.
Here, give me 2 seconds. Alrighty, let's see.
You know what? I think I have a better solution. Hold on.
Are you doing a random list?
Yeah, random list. Yep.
I was going to say, like, somebody, if it lands on the coin lands on its side, you know.
Oh God. Yeah, I don't know what I just want any excuse I can to use that World's Fair coin. Okay. Okay, so the name that comes up first is going to decide the order.
Man,
Wait,
we're
no,
games
no,
all the way up to the end.
I take that back. The order is. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just winging it at this point. The order is just going to be like decided based on this list. So whoever comes up, that's going to be the order. All right.
All right.
Let's do it. And it was my order, my special order.
Alphabetical order.
Yes. I'm going to put that in private chat just so we don't forget. Okay. So, guys, we're going to start with opening statements. The one thing I really want to emphasize with you on this is going to be I want to hear 3 sides of your game if you have them. I want to hear the strategy, the social, and the creative. That's like, if you can like blend all 3 of those, that would be wonderful. All right. So we are going to start with Pie. The time will start whenever you start talking. You have 3 minutes.
All right. So first off, thank you for amazing game, amazing season. You've all been amazing, blah, 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 all that great stuff. Strategy-wise, my plan was very simple. Lay low for as long as I can. Then when it's time to not lay low, go big with it. Like a lot of the early times, I kind of just did small stuff, did small things that I could do really well. At least I think I like them, you know, but nothing that would be the big standout moments, nothing that's going to get me on the nominations, nothing that's going to get me a PO MVP. Like the first round I did the maze that I really liked, but no one cares that much about a maze walkthrough attraction other than me. I love them. But then when it came time to things were narrowing down, we came to that studios round. I was like, yes, I love studios. It's my favorite park. This is my prompt. I'm going to go big. I'm going to be the project manager. I'm going to do as much as I can. There's going to be a big splash. And I got taken off of that and forced to do something with Fast and Furious Supercharged. But I still used it as the opportunity to make a big splash and come in with doing really going hard with the ghostlighting project, which ghostlighting is what it's always been called. And if you think that's wrong, you're probably just insane. I don't know. So yeah, ghostlighting, everyone. As far as social game goes, it was mostly just trying to be a nice person, be fun to be around, tell jokes, support others when I can. I did have one alliance with B and Ace Astro, but that was less of a serious alliance and more of just we all said we had Diamond PO MVPs because we thought it would be funny. I think B actually had one. Other than that, my big social strategy was to try and do what I can to support different people in different rounds when I knew they hadn't had a chance to shine yet, like when we did a Taylor Swift round. And team was split on what to do, and not a lot of people had a lot of big ideas of what they were going for, but Shannon seemed really into Taylor Swift, and they hadn't had a real chance to shine yet. So I'm like, okay, my vote goes Taylor Swift. This is what we should do. And I just kind of working with Shannon and developing the story and doing the writing there and trying to help Shannon shine a bit. Same thing with later on, trying to push things to what Brea Panther was passionate about to help try and set him up for success. And then creatively, I like to think that I really did well with comedy and kind of, for lack of a better term, self-indulgence, just letting my personal interests shine. What I think are my strengths, I leaned into them with things like a Smiling Friends ride that's all pre-shows and no ride, or the Ghostlighting Project, or Earthbound, which I've never even played Earthbound, but I was like, you say it's funny, let's do it, let's go. And Olaf, I love that Olaf round. That was a lot of fun. So yeah.
All right. Hi, I'm going to go ahead and cut you off there. That's 3 minutes. All right. Keep in mind, you'll have a chance to make a closing statement at the end. Okay. OSU Phantom, whenever you start talking.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much to the judges and everyone who made this season possible. It was really just so much fun. I had a blast. In terms of my strategy with the game, I came into kind of a unique situation. I haven't played an Armchair Imagineering game in, I think, 13 years. I was a freshman in college, so it had been a while. And Tiki introduced me as someone who kind of had a legacy connection to this game. So I felt like I had a lot to prove coming in. And that was really my strategy, is I wanted to prove that, I could do this, that, me being part of this big kind of all-star season, wasn't just a throwback to something I did on a forum 20 years ago. So that's really what I was focused on, is showing, that I belong here and I had talent, and I wanted to show it, and I wanted to, really make my mark on the game. And, I think I succeeded, not the least which, making it to the top 3. I think that's a huge win for myself anyway. So I'm really happy about that. In terms of kind of the social, it was a little difficult for me just because I didn't know anyone except Tiki coming into this game. So, I was starting from square one. I really had to, introduce myself to everyone else, but also get to know everyone else. So it was a very steep learning curve for me on the social game. But I really think I played kind of a minimal social game. I really, kind of stayed out of trouble, didn't try and make any enemies, tried to be friends with as many people on my team as I could, be helpful, always offer to assist and support ideas and brainstorming, or, assist other people with their projects as well. That was really my social strategy. And in terms of creativity, I like the way Pi described it. Self-indulgence, like finding that one thing with the project that I knew that I was going to be able to really sink my teeth into and be passionate about. But at the same time, I also think I pushed myself outside of my comfort zone a bit. If you had told me that I was going to have to do voiceovers for a commercial, I would have laughed at you and said, there is no way I'm recording my voice for public consumption. Absolutely not. But I did that because I wanted to take myself outside of my comfort zone as well and try a different creative side. So I was proud that I was able to do that. Overall, like I said, I had so much fun with this game. Playing with everyone, all of the projects, joining in for the live chats. So thank you for such a great experience to the judges and really everyone.
All right, is that it?
That is it.
Okay, cool. Also, I just wanted to shout out Peregron. This is the most Peregron thing ever. Just wanted to pop in, but I've got to go release an owl. Congrats and good luck to the final three. Oh, I love it.
Never
Never
change.
change.
All right, Tegan, whenever you start talking.
All right. Hi, everyone. I also want to thank the hosts and all of the other contestants. This has been such a fun season. It's been a blast. I've had a wonderful time, and it's an honor to be here in the final three. I think that my social and strategy game and creative game kind of all intertwined in a big way. So when I knew I wanted to play a certain way, and I did. I deliberately avoided being project manager throughout the entire game post-merge because I didn't want to be responsible for eliminating anybody from the game. Pi, that's why I messaged you about the Nintendo project and asked you to be project manager. And then I coincided with that with my creative game, which was basically to just be, and social really, which was to be just as active as possible. I took days off of work. I rearranged my schedule. I did all kinds of things like that to just make sure I could be as present as I possibly could to basically blunt force my way through the whole game to be so active and to contribute as much as I could to where I couldn't be evicted. And that worked out because I was never nominated. And I was PO MVP like 4 times, which was amazing. And I really appreciate the honor. I ended up with the jury vote to get into the final 3. So I think all of those accolades sort of speak to the effectiveness of my game. But I do very genuinely, I think everybody knows, I love being part of this community and interacting with everybody in the community and trying to be friends with as many people on here as I'm able to be. And I loved getting the chance to work with different people. Like Ace and I got to work together for like really the first time ever during this game. OSU, obviously, like this is our first time working together. Pi, we go way back and whatnot, these games and stuff. But so that is obviously like a social element too, but that's not strategic so much. That's just very genuinely the way I like to play. I like to make sure everybody is involved and to be as involved in as much as possible. But that was my game. My game the whole time was don't be PM, make other people make that decision. Don't be responsible for evicting anybody, and just get to this point through nothing but Imagineering and activity. And I think I did that.
Okay. All right. So now I am going to hand the reins off to Goofy because I asked him to to make sure that we had the questions written down and that there wouldn't be any overlap. So Goofy, if you don't mind. And just as a reminder, I'm going to allow 1 minute for every answer. So, but I'm not going to do the warning. Just y'all just have to keep an eye on the clock. So,
yeah,
right,
I'm basically the secretary for the judges. I handle all the paperwork. So, let's see. How do I want to do this? So, I think that we'll start out with a couple of group questions and then move into some individual questions. This first one is arguably my favorite question. I can't wait for Peregron to see it because he asked this question. If you have one, what is your favorite Mickey Mouse 10 alt account?
All right. I guess we'll just continue in the order. So, Pi.
Oh my God.
Easily Space Mountain. He's really played the long game there. Really, Mickey Mouse 10 is a Space Mountain alt.
All right, guys. I'm not going to bother timing these. Y'all aren't going to take a minute on this.
Honestly, though, I would love a minute. I would love a minute analysis.
OSU.
You know that meme from Finding Dory where the sea lion is just giving that blank stare? That's me with a lot of inside jokes with this game. Just like, what? Yeah. So, all of them are fantastic.
That's the great answer. Great answer.
All right, Tegan.
Disney fan. I mean, come on. Like Roger Rabbit all day.
All right. Okay, that was the warm-up.
That was the warm-up. Okay, I love that.
Thank you, Pergron.
All right, so the first real question we have, it's pretty simple, pretty generic. What was a highlight over the course of the game for you? It can be a prompt, an aspect of a prompt, social, whatever kind of thing, just a highlight from this game that stands out to you.
Pi?
For me, I think it would be the cartoon round with the Nick Cartoon Network crossover, just because, like I said, something I've really liked this season, I've gone into more than any other game, is being self-indulgent with it, following passions, making me feel really unique and just not trying to be professional, trying to be me. And I feel like with the cartoon round, everyone kind of went in with that idea. Very few people are doing things just like, well, we need a store and SpongeBob is popular, so I'll do a sponge store, whatever. Everyone was doing things they wanted to do. Everyone was doing something they loved, working with the character they loved, whether it was something they were into as a kid, something they're into now. And I just loved having everyone come together. It was such a fun first post-merge round because nothing made sense. It was just doing what we loved. And that's part of what the fun of the game is. I think it's really where people start to shine when they do that.
All right. And that was still to this day the most extensive judging session I have ever done in 20 seasons. Okay, OSU.
I would definitely have to say the horror maze round, the experiments, was generally one of my favorite things that I produced this entire season, not the least of which because I actually went into, when the prompt was released for that round, I was like, I'm not big into creepypasta. This is not going to be my round. But when, I can't even remember who suggested the Russian sleep experiments, but that just clicked with me. And I literally had so much fun putting that together. And to see that it was well received as well was just a huge win. And there are so many little like Easter eggs that I hid into that write-up. Researching like Soviet era board games and everything. I had so much fun doing that. It was genuinely such a passion project that I did not anticipate enjoying at all.
All right, right on. Okay, Tegan.
Yeah, I have to echo both of you because like the Nicktoon Landing project was just so much pure fun. Like it was amazing. It was wonderful to just get to cut loose for like 10 days and just go absolutely nuts on something. But I do think that my highlight probably is also the backrooms from the creepypasta prompt, just because like, you know, like, I don't know, like for some reason, I'm not a big horror fan, but for whatever reason, it seems like these horror projects that I do always get like a really great reception. And I was writing that project and I'm writing it. And I'm like, oh my God, I hope this is actually good. I hope this doesn't come across as cheesy or try-hardish. But then it seemed like everybody really liked it. You know, Tiki called it a Mount Rushmore project for the game. And that was like a huge honor in 20 seasons, like to get a compliment like that. So I have to go with the backrooms, I think, for me as a personal highlight.
All right. Tegan, the backrooms, that was absolutely a highlight of that Lagoon project for sure. But I just want to clarify when I say Mount Rushmore, and this is just to give everyone else who was involved with that project credit as well. I mean the Mount Rushmore in the sense that like that whole project for me, that like everything from the presentation to obviously the backrooms was a big part of it. So I just want to clarify that.
That's cool. I'm still a huge part of that, so I'll take it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so Goofy, what do we have next?
Yeah, so this one kind of goes with what we were just talking about, but more specifically, and these are a lot of similar questions, but they are different. So kind of hand in hand, what is your what was like, if you could pick one thing that was like the best, absolute most fun thing you worked on, and what if one of the things that you made, one of the projects you contributed to, could be a real thing now, what would you pick?
Okay, you know what, guys? I'm sorry. I'm going to be chaotic. We're going to do this snake style. We're going to do backwards. Tegan, we're going to start with you.
Okay, no problem.
And then next round we'll start at pie, and OSU you'll just always be in the middle.
It's an OSU
right.
sandwich. All right. So the most fun, to clarify, it was what was the most fun and what's something you wish could be real that you did?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, all right, thanks. So the most fun was Nicktoon Landing. That was just, it was like for that whole time, it was like you just kind of like forgot about like the game element of it, and we were just having fun, and it was just pure Imagineering, and that was wonderful. That was like the most pure fun 10 days that I had the whole game. If there was something that could be real, Metroid, absolutely Metroid. Most people know that I'm a huge Metroid fan, and every time I do a Metroid project, I put a lot of effort into it and just a lot of passion into it. I would die for a Metroid ride. I would die for a Metroid live action movie. Like, I'm hoping Mario Brothers just kills it at the box office and we get a Metroid film. I'll just explode with joy. But yeah, definitely those two answers.
Cool. All right. OSU.
So I think the most fun that I had, I mean, I said the experiments, but I think the project that broke me the most joy was the Star Fox ride, just because I was a huge Star Fox fan growing up. So it was a warm nostalgia hug for me to work on that. Like, I was having so much fun. I was listening to the soundtrack while I'm like typing it out on my phone in my commute into the city. I had a great time. I also loved the cupcakes. I can't eat any of them because I gave up desserts for Lent, so that was a bit torturous for me, but I still enjoyed it. And in terms of real things, I would have to say The World of Yesterday from Legacy Park, because I missed the great movie ride and will do anything to bring it back.
Fair.
Okay. Also, guys, it's just worth noting, I still haven't had a chance to read all of the final project yet. I've just been super busy, and today has been this morning's been busy, but I very much intend to give like a thorough written review of it. And I will say that from what I have read so far, it's definitely like among my favorite final projects ever. So just to give credit there. And Goofy and I will also be kind of talking about it during tomorrow's show. So, all right, Pie.
Before I get going, I had a pop up about my mic. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, cool. I think the most fun, I did not expect this at all, would be that Taylor Swift musical, which I originally was going into that round thinking, yeah, whatever, it's a musical round. I don't really care about any of these IPs we're working on. I'm just going to do costuming because I've never done it. And then over the course of the week, I wound up getting more and more involved and listening to the album. I think the first time, I think just straight hearing songs, I just had a lot of fun with the writing that round and helping figure out the plot and write it all out step by step. It was a really great time. The thing I would want to be most real, I'm also going to have to go with the Legacy round, either the one I did that was Superstar Limo, but as like a e-ticket Mickey and Minnie Runaway Railway type ride, or Great Movie Ride. That is still like my all-time favorite attraction. Either one of those, top to top, some of the real life best, like Great Movie Ride and the best ride ever, Superstar Limo.
I mean, you know, the gaslighting project isn't that, like, you don't wish that would happen because that's clearly already happened.
Yeah, obviously. Well, in real life, it's called ghost lighting, as I said, but you know.
Yeah, come on, Tiki, get it together.
Yeah.
It's ghost lighting.
It always has been ghost lighting.
All right.
Hi, did we successfully make you a Swiftie?
A little bit. I've always liked Taylor Swift. I've just never like actively been like fandom involved.
I'm too
One of us.
to enjoy Taylor Swift. All right. Goofy.
Yeah, now we're going to get into some individual
Hold on.
questions.
Hold on.
Okay.
I was just gonna say this is super embarrassing. I'm sorry, but like since I'm running the clock, my comfort level needs to be good. Can you please like just hold the show for 1 minute? Maybe talk with the finalists while I take a very super quick bathroom break. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
It's live. Let's go.
This is literally how I always feel doing this hosting thing. All right, so since Tiki's gone, who is everybody's favorite judge this season?
Do either of you have power over who becomes the winner? Because if so, that one.
Yeah, thank you, Pi. I am also my favorite. I'm kidding. I can't. Well, actually, Tiki probably would let me count the votes. So, I didn't think about that.
Definitely Goofy.
You guys are doing great. We're about halfway through the group questions. We've got some individual questions. We're going to come back to group questions at the end.
Right on.
Yeah. This is
everybody great. Having a good week so far? Overall?
All right, y'all. That was gonna bother the crap out of me if I didn't deal with that. Okay.
We're really glad you took care of it.
If I was to take a bathroom break, I'd be like taking selfies and shit.
All right. So we're gonna start with Pi on this next one. Goofy, what do we got?
Yeah, so we're going to do some individual questions now, and then we'll come back and finish up with some more group questions.
Oh, wait. Okay. So cool. So this is just a Pi question then.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Cool.
All right, Pi. So this question came
I don't feel as bad now about having OSU just stuck in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he'll get his own question for sure. All right, this one came... this first set of questions came from space. So for Pi, your projects always have a sense of innovation to them, but sometimes we all have projects we aren't fully satisfied with. What was one project contribution you wish you could redo, and how would you go about reworking it?
I don't know exactly what I would do differently, but I would definitely... I was never super satisfied with how the Over the Golden Wall shows went in the Cartoon Network one, like the little outdoor theater with a couple different cartoons there. Not because it wasn't good. Like, I love the concept of it. I think I had a lot of fun doing it. I think it turned out all right. But I just, like you said, innovation. I always want to try and think, well, what's something new? What's different that I can do here that I haven't done before? And going through that whole little thing there is just like, well, I said I was going to do this, but I never thought of a clever way to do it. So it's just done. Like, it's good, I think. I liked it, but there's nothing exciting about it. I don't know exactly how I would change it. No, if I had unlimited time, an idea I had at one point was that I could make little puppets and actually act it out.
Okay, little puppets, Pi, right on. And that's the minute.
It was a puppet show.
Okay.
Why not?
All right, OSU. One of Space's favorite aspects of your game was your ability to hone your craft in map design. In a potential future game or thread, what is a new Imagineering skill that you would like to develop?
I would probably have to say humor. I think that served Pi really well in this game. And I don't think I excelled when I had to be funny in this game, and being able to, capture that humor in a way that would convey itself well in the projects. I think I did all right with the Skipper Dan project with Living with the Land, which was a bit of a challenge. I do regret not adding in my fluted pumpkin reference that my family constantly jokes about when we go to Living with the Land, that we paid all this money to go to Florida to see the fluted pumpkin. So I definitely wish I had fought for that joke more. But I think I need to find a way to be funnier. I always wanted to be like serious and focus on like realism, but I needed to let loose a little more. So I'm going to try and be funny next time.
Is that what Living with the Land is to you people who actually really like it? Just like one big in-joke?
Yes! It is my dad's favorite ride.
Like
I'm honestly not.
plans.
I'm not convinced that it wasn't like a joke at Imagineering that like accidentally became a real ride.
I'm wearing
That's
my shirt right now.
it's unironically my favorite ride. Like I love it.
Fair enough. I mean, this is coming from someone, for spoiler alert for my Disneyland ranking, I've got Casey Jr. Circus Train in my top 10, baby. So
As you should. That ride.
that's a really weird opinion, I think. But
Casey Jr. is awesome. That's pretty valid.
Yeah. All right. Anyways. Okay. What do we got next, Goofy?
All right, Tegan. This one also came from space. Throughout the game, I think your leadership was on display either through passionate brainstorming or project development. But sometimes we have to adapt and focus smaller for the good of the team. What was one of your small contributions to the season you're most proud of?
Ooh, that's a really good one. You know what? Going back to that Nicktoon project, there was the the dumbass like meat restaurant, like the thing that was like, I mean, and I didn't elaborate on it very much in the write-up, but just because I kind of wanted to leave it intentionally ambiguous, it was just kind of all about like the menu. But I thought it was funny, and I thought it was kind of clever. And I don't often do like restaurants and shops and the small things like that. It's usually like e-tickets or like lots and lots of art or whatever. And so I've had a few opportunities this time to like do a few smaller contributions. And I think that one was my favorite, even though it was disgusting and I hated myself for writing it. But I got a chuckle out of it.
For me, that was definitely one of the more memorable comedic elements of that project.
That was the hilarious part of your project.
Thanks.
All right, so I guess we're going to come back to you for another question. This one came. You know what? I'll keep these anonymous. Because of what they say. Okay. Well, okay. The question starts out, you were my pick to win the entire thing, and we're probably pretty high up there for many others as well. I guess my question would be, how does it feel to be possibly the Armchair Imagineer to look out for in these competitions?
That's so nice.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want you getting too high of an opinion of this person. So
whoever Ace. Whoever's thank you. That's so sweet, and that means so much to me. Like honestly, this community and these games like really do mean like so much to me, and I've like made so many genuine connections with people through them, which I don't know how lame that sounds to some folks, but like it really is like a special thing that we have here. And Imagineering has always been something that I've loved from the time I was a little kid, and so that's just a really nice compliment. Just thank you. I hope that I lived up to it for you. Thank you.
Right. Literally everybody, and I don't want to get into the whole like Tiki's friend tier list thing again, but literally everybody in my life that I consider to be a best friend of mine, I have met through this game in some way, shape, or form, Tegan. So that is a perfectly valid response.
That's
all
amazing.
right. Goofy, what's the OSU question?
All right. What did you expect coming into the game after such a long hiatus with it? Was it what you expected or was it different?
I honestly had no idea what to expect. Like I said, I think the last season that I played of this game was 13 years ago. I couldn't even go back and like look at my projects from back then because the forums don't exist anymore. I would say it probably was different in the sense that I didn't realize how much the social game had become part of it in that nearly decade time. So I don't think I was actually prepared to play the social game coming in. I was just brainstorming like, ooh, what kind of projects would I do with this or that? And the social game kind of hit me over the head like a 2x4. So I had to kind of adapt and learn as I went on that.
I have that effect on people.
No, Tegan, you did not hit me like a 2x4. It was wonderful. It was like a hug.
Oh, I thought that you were about to call somebody out.
Sorry to those watching live. This is not going to be a dramatic fight. Not doing that.
I know y'all are disappointing me, man. This is not the Survivor All-Stars Final Tribal Council where Lex Vandenberg is like being a total, like, I don't know if any of you even get that reference, but
Okay.
we'll just move on. I'm sorry.
All right.
Lex Vandenberg votes out his best friend in Survivor All-Stars, proceeds to call Boston Rob a terrible person for voting him out. All right, I'm sorry.
So if we don't have that level of drama, we're all disappointed. Just so you know.
I'll go find a chair to throw.
Who's in the chat right now? Who can I start drama with?
Give me a few margaritas. It's on.
Ace is in here. I don't even have anybody to fight.
I got my
Ace is
margarita
too
right
nice.
here.
It's tough.
Right here.
All right.
All right. All right, Pi. Being separated from the team during your special round must have been a challenge. Do you think you missed out on not being able to be a part of that challenge or it being a part of that round, or do you prefer knowing that you made easily the funniest project of the season?
It was definitely a mixed bag because, as I said earlier, I had been kind of holding back for a lot of the season, and that was going to be the round. Was like, oh, I love this prompt, I love this perk, this speaks to me. Everyone's together, and like, it wasn't immediately after the merge, but it was still fresh enough that people were still readjusting. Especially since, if I remember correctly, the round before that was a creepypasta round, where because of work, I wasn't able to be super involved. So coming into that one, I was like, yes, let's do it. Get in touch with everyone. This is going to be great. And then I was just off to the side. But while that definitely posed challenges, it really wound up being a great opportunity because the prompt was just vague enough that I could have a lot of fun with it and do some really weird and crazy stuff. And I'm just really glad people responded well to that round, because I really had no idea while I was writing it. It's like, this, are people gonna hate this? I loved it, so I didn't care.
I absolutely loved that project. I don't think that I could gush enough about how much I loved that project.
Hi, I was literally in this spot in tears laughing at that project. So no, it was awesome.
I'm so glad people other than me liked it too.
Well, so going hand in hand with that, your final individual question is a pretty simple one, I think. Although I'm not sure how you're going to take it. How can you be 100% sure you're actually in the final three and not gaslighting all of us into thinking you are?
Well, see, what you have to realize is that not only am I not in the final three, I'm Goofy Yuck Yuck.
Whoa!
That's why only one of us has a camera on right now. I'm just really good at doing the voice. Watch, I'm gonna cover my mouth and say hi in Goofy's voice.
Hi.
See?
Mind blown.
Yeah. So, and this is how it's always been. And you said there wasn't gonna be drama. Look at that twist.
It was a lot of fun hosting One Little Spark with you.
Oh yeah, I loved it. I loved it. That totally wasn't during my hiatus from the forums.
I'm just letting the clock run out on this one. All right.
Yeah, what else was I gonna say?
Oh my gosh, that was a fantastic answer.
Whoever asked that question is my best friend.
Oh yeah.
I was not expecting you to reveal our secret like that.
You know, anything for the chance to win the game I made for myself.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. OSU. Coming in, I think a lot of people saw you as sort of a wild card, where you were a veteran, but nobody really knew what you were capable of. And now you're in the top three. And I know a lot of people had a lot of fun working alongside you. Did the uncertainty of your role socially impact your play style at all?
You know, and here's the funny thing: is Pies actually gaslit all of you to thinking I'm in the top 3. Um, but yeah, I do think it impacted my play style a little bit. Probably early on because I felt I played conservatively in the sense that I didn't want to take too many chances or kind of stick my neck out or put a target on my back. So I think I kind of stayed to my strengths. But as I started to feel more comfortable getting to know people throughout the game and kind of what the game had become in terms of what was expected from the projects, I think I started to shed that a little bit, step outside of my comfort zone, and kind of embrace the chaos and the gaslighting.
Great.
All right. Okay, so this is the last individual question, and we'll finish up with some group questions. So, Tegan, this is another very flattering question. You've kind of perfected every facet of these projects, from art to writing to presentation. Is there one element you think you excel at more than the others? If not, is there one you prefer?
Oh wow. Thank you, whoever said that. Thank you so much. Wow. I don't know. I guess my favorite thing is often to like be responsible for like a big e-ticket, but I do love I've always loved making like maps of parks or like ride layout maps and stuff. OSU definitely kind of like became that person, especially near the end of the season, which was totally cool, like because they were amazing. But yeah, I do love doing like headliner attractions because I think it just gives you the most like you get to do the most with them. You can do art, you can do dialogue, you can do create scenes, create like a whole story and everything like that. It just gives you the most to do, so they're just the most fun for me. And thank you again.
Okay.
All right. So now we're going to finish up with some good group questions. First one, and I guess we'll start with Tegan and go back the other way. What is your favorite project or part of a project from the entire season that you yourself didn't work on? This came from Peregrine, and in parentheses he put, and why was it the rock wall?
I mean, because it was the rock wall, obviously. I mean, come on. I put a rock wall in my final project. I don't know if anybody found it yet, but there's a rock wall in it. So definitely that. And then if I had to pick a second one, actually it was the pie, the one that you did that was just pre-shows, because it was so funny. And like that was another thing that had me rolling when I was reading through it. Like it was just amazing, and I would love for that to be a real thing.
Okay. OSU?
I would actually have to say in both of these are Tegan's projects, Metroid Phobia and the Back Rooms, like that. I'm not a huge horror fan either until I actually started like writing projects about it, and I was like, this is so much fun to write. And you did such a good job with the atmospheric elements of that. It just was so fun to read, and I loved just how it was dripping in that fear, and that theming. It was just so great, and I was only a little jealous that I couldn't be a part of it.
Thank you.
I probably shouldn't be doing that to someone I'm competing against, but you know what? It's the truth.
Hey, Russian Sleep Experiments was awesome too. Like you did a really great job with that. I want you to know that it was amazing. I was like, I thought that I was worried that mine wasn't going to be like up to par, because like you did a really good job with that.
It's the top 3 like love power hour here. No
Right.
drama. Sorry, judges.
Right. Pie.
This is gonna really seem like I'm just pandering now, but I was going to say the creepypasta round and y'all two's mazes.
Thank you.
Especially because that was one round where, because of some stuff that was going on, I wasn't able to be involved until like the last 2 days. So I really only did the presentation. So I was approaching it more from an outside perspective, even though I was following along. And also reading it really detailed because I was making the slides, making sure everything looked nice, getting everything scaled right, all that stuff. And I was just reading through. I was like, these are great. And I've always loved creepypasta stuff. And this is so much fun to read. All the mazes that ran, all the stuff we did. But especially the two headliners from U2. Those were the big ones. And just like, wow. They're just so much fun. Like you said, I am a big horror fan. More and more lately. But I've always loved creepypastas, and both captured like what would make this so interesting without relying on cheap jump scares or things like that keep me away from Halloween Horror Nights.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to go back to Pi.
How many more questions do we have left, Goofy?
We have 2 more questions.
Just curious. Okay.
All right, so we have, for Pi, and we'll go back through to Tegan. What was the hardest challenge or prompt that you faced all season, and how did you overcome it?
I think I would probably have to say the hardest one would be the one right off the top, the final Frontierland. I forget the details now because it's been a long time, but I know we were doing the Tundra Land, and it was great. There were so many great ideas at play. There's a lot of people finding their footings and getting back together and finding like what chemistry between players and things like that. And at the time, I had been off the boards for a while. I don't think I've really been super involved since Sorcerer's Apprentice 7, other than helping Tegan prep One Little Spark 3, but really that was all Tegan. I just kind of helped in the preseason mostly. And I guess I'm not a huge Frontierland fan. I wasn't super connecting with it, but I overcame that by just supporting the people who were really connecting with it and just focusing on something small, the Tom Sawyer Island substitute that we did, which was a fun maze walkthrough, which I love mazes and walkthroughs.
Okay. All right, OSU.
Ooh, hardest prompt. I'd have to say the project number 2, the Skipper one. Like I've said, humor is not my strong suit, so it was definitely putting myself out of my comfort zone very early on in the game. And while I think the team had a lot of really good ideas with living with the land right off the bat, there was about like halfway through brainstorming where I think we all kind of just sat around and was like, wait, what are we actually doing? So we kind of sputtered halfway through and we kind of had to like regroup. So it was very challenging. I think our end product was really good, but it was definitely a very challenging project to go through so early on. And no fluid pumpkin jokes.
All right, Tegan.
I'm going to complete the sequence here and say Project 3, the Avatar one, because I'm not like a super huge Avatar fan. And so that one was the most research intensive for me the whole game. And that was also during like my cat passed away in the middle of that prompt. So that was just a really, really, really difficult time altogether, like having to like finish this project that, you know, I wasn't super familiar with the material while also like grieving really hard. That was difficult. The Epcot mazes were that was like my number 2 pick, because yeah, it just took me a while to get my ideas going for that one. I kind of struggled at the beginning of like my personal brainstorming there, but definitely Project 3.
Okay. All right.
All right. And then this last question, I'm kind of wondering, we might want to merge it with closing statements depending on what Tiki feels like. The final question for all of you, though, is what would winning So You Want to Be an Imagineer feel or mean to you?
No, I don't want to merge that with closing statements because they might want to, like, you know, I just want to keep closing statements as open-ended as possible.
All right, yeah. Then we will start with Tegan on that question and go back through.
I guess in my case, it really would tie together a lot with like what I would say for a closing statement, but just to like it would mean a tremendous amount to me to win this game for so many like reasons. Yeah, it would be like the highlight of my year for sure if to be able to win this game.
Okay.
I don't need the full minute. It would mean the world.
Okay. OSU.
What it would mean to me, I think being able to kind of come full circle from, being part of the origins of the idea of the game and to come in, 20 years later and be able to come in with a vengeance and win would be tremendous. It would just be, it would really be, it's been a rough couple of months. I've been very busy with work, so it would really be great to be able to take that. And for the record, I have no intention of kind of taking the title if I win and running away. This community has been great, so I fully intend to stay around and stick around and make jokes about rock climbing walls for years to come.
Right on. I'm happy this season brought you back to the community. That's great. Okay, Pi, end us out.
I mean, it would be amazing. It would mean the world, like everyone's been saying. This forum, I know I haven't been on and active consistently since I first found it, but I still remember back in the fall of 2016, just looking for Disney rumors while I was procrastinating homework and finding the forum and doing the one sentence competition and then joining the short-lived creator games that then led into the So You Want to Be Imagineer season 14, which was my first real experience here. And ever since then, I've always loved these games. I've loved these forums, and being able to win not just So You Want to Be Imagineer as a fun game, but coming full circle for my first like real large-scale game here being So You Want to Be Imagineer, that being my first experience. And then as we're approaching this as sort of the finale for So You Want to Be Imagineer on this forum, to come full circle and be the first time I've won this game would be incredible.
Okay. All right. Goofy, do you have anything you'd like to say in regards to the season, just to give kind of a reset before we go into final statements?
Oh yeah, there's a ton I could say.
Yeah, by all means.
Yeah, so my last participation in the forums really was about 2.5 years ago. I kind of helped with Sorcerer's Apprentice season 7 a little bit, but I wasn't doing a whole lot. So between competing in, actually that's not true. I did compete in So You Want to Be Imagineer 19. Wow, I just totally lost that memory. Holy cow! Okay. So it's still been like 2 years. Okay. And I just got really, really busy with, whenever I started on the forums, I was a senior in high school 3 years ago, going through COVID, and I had a lot of free time. And, getting into college and having way less free time meant that, it was just a natural thing that I had less time to spend on the forums. And getting the opportunity to do this, it was kind of an interesting thing where, like, I was invited to come back and play, and I was like, well, I don't really have the time to play, but I had a ton of fun hosting 1984 a few years ago, and Tiki was gracious enough to allow me to come on and help out. And it's been really cool getting to have some, nostalgic feeling in a lot of ways. It's been so much fun getting to reconnect with the forums, getting to see all the creativity that's consistently amazing me that all of you are able to put into this. And, most of all, just re-engaging with the community, having these calls and with Tiki and talking with all of you. And it's been a ton of fun. And I'm so glad that I
been amazing dealing with my panic attacks, right?
You know what? I'll take it all, Tiki. It was it was honestly, all of it was great. And I'm very glad that I didn't
Yeah, there's just a few things that I did on
Yeah.
our private conversation that were not great, but
That's just part of the deal, and it's all right because, like I said, I had a great time, and I'm really glad that I didn't miss the message or something because I hadn't been on WW Magic in a while, and I got an email notification about a new conversation, and I was like,
that's lucky.
Yeah, I know. So, yeah.
All right. That's like Snoopy's arc this season. Oh shit! I missed season 20. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this time. I'm gonna throw another wrench in. I'm gonna start with OSU because you've been stuck in the middle the whole time, and then we're gonna do a coin toss between Tegan and Pie to see who goes last. Because I need to use this damn coin.
You just can't help gimmicking up everything, Tiki.
No, I really can't. So, OSU, again, this is going to be the closing statement. Just wrap up anything that you want to touch on in your game. And you've got 2 minutes. And obviously, you don't have to use the full 2 minutes if you don't feel the need to. But yeah. All right. Whenever you start talking.
All right, so once again, I want to thank everyone for really making this a phenomenal experience and a great return back to this community and this game. Being part of this has really kind of, I think, rekindled, my love of the Disney parks. So I'm so grateful for that and the opportunity to participate. Like I said, I think I kind of came into the season maybe with the steepest learning curve of possibly anyone on the cast. I can't say that for sure, but having not done anything like this for over 13 years and really coming in new and not knowing anyone, I think I had a lot to kind of overcome and teach myself and push myself out of my comfort zone, and I think I did that. Being able to adapt and to learn and to grow and to make it all the way to the final 3, I think shows a lot about my commitment to the game and willingness to put in the time and the hard work. And, on the times in this game when I stumbled, when I was project manager that one time, I owned up to it and I pulled myself back up and I did really well in the following 2 weeks. So, for that, I'm really proud of myself. And I would say if I were to make a case for myself to be the winner, it would be that, I overcame that learning curve and I really showed what I could do.
Okay. All righty. Okay, I'm going to flip the coin. I want one of y'all to call it in the air, and then whoever wins the toss will decide who goes second and third.
Hi, you call it.
You sure? I was going to say...
No, go ahead.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Heads.
You got it. It's hard to even see, I know. There's the Unisphere.
Winning the coin toss means I won the game now, right?
Congratulations!
Woo!
That's not how gaslighting works, Pie. All right, Pie, you want to go last or do you want to go now?
I'll go now.
Okay. Give me 1 sec. Let me switch tabs.
Okay.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Honestly, this has just been so much fun. I had been off the forum for about a year, and the reason for that was mostly just because I was really busy with my job at the time. Without going too far into it, I was working in the kitchen at a restaurant with a singing alien that serves French fries. If you can figure out what that is, good. It did not leave me a lot of free time. And it was around the time I switched to a different job that I got the message about this game starting up. I'm like, yeah, that would be a great way to get back into this. See all the friends I haven't seen in a while here. Oh, yeah, that would be a neat shirt. They should make a restaurant like that. And I could not walk there. It was just great to be back. Great to see everyone again. Great to get back into doing this. It was so much fun and so interesting seeing how the game has changed. Like, I remember before the focus was so much on trying to get to like perfection and polish and professionalism, and all that is great and important. And it's something I focused on a lot. I knew a lot of focus on trying to do more and more. Like, I remember on the Scott Pilgrim round, me, Tegan, and someone else made like a half hour of music for that round. It was insane. And it feels like something's changed, that everyone here was like, I'm having fun, I'm with friends, I'm doing something I'm passionate about. And that was what I really loved this season, even more than past seasons. And I hope you have enjoyed the things I've made as much as I've enjoyed making them, because I really have had a great time making them. From things with more heart and seriousness, like the Taylor Swift musical's plot, to things that are just goofy, cheesy fun, like ghostlighting everyone, which is what's always been called.
Right. Well played, sir. Well played. Okay, Tegan.
So I can echo a lot of that, of what you've both said, that this game has been so much fun. I feel like we've been playing this for like way longer than 3.5 months, whatever it's been. Like, but it's been a wonderful time being able to like to be able to share the game with everybody and working on projects together and having so much fun with people who are friends. It's been tremendous. I do want to talk about just myself and my Imagineering journey on the forum, and what winning this would mean to me. A couple of years ago, Space messaged me, and I got the message because I was checking on Epcot stuff, and I played Sorcerer's Apprentice 7, and at first it was just fun, and it was a great thing to do while we were all stuck at home, but as the game went on, I was like, oh my God, like I might be able to like have a chance at winning this. And then I finished third to Pi and Jokers. And then with that rolled into So You Want to Be an Imagineer 19. And I finished sixth. And there were one sentence comps that year that I finished second and third in. And then at the end of that year, I got voted into our little Hall of Fame thing, which is really cool, by the highest percentage of anyone ever, which was like just amazing to see that. And it means so much to me, but there's a but here. But I feel like my resume is incomplete, and it's kind of like irking me. It's like eating away at me. I feel like not having a win is just like, I feel like I need it. And to be able to win this game, the final season of this game on the forums with an all-star cast, invite only, would be, I can't even describe it, how much that would mean to make this the one that was my first victory.
All right, Tegan, thank you. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay.
Right. Okay, y'all, if you go ahead, the final three, if you go ahead and check the boards, you will note that we have one last task for you all, and I'm going to go ahead and share that with the audience. Hold on. I don't have it in the right. 1 second. Sorry, guys.
I'm afraid to open a different tab because I don't want to mess up this.
Well, it's all good. I'm going to screen share it. Shoot, no, I don't want it to scroll to the bottom of the page, though. I'm sorry. Bear with me, guys. I'm sorry.
Tiki not struggling challenge, impossible.
Yep, pretty much. All right.
If you're having trouble pulling it up, I can just read it.
I got it.
Till Goofy?
The real game has just begun. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so I'm not sure who here's an old school Survivor fan, but we're gonna do an old school Survivor thing because I'm an old school Survivor guy. So
did they stop doing this?
Yeah.
Oh my God, a long time ago, Pi. Yes, unfortunately.
I've not watched in a long time, but this was so cool. Sorry.
It was always one of my favorite parts of the season. All right.
I can't read it because it's on my phone and I'm not wearing my glasses.
I got it, Tegan. I'm going to read it for you.
All right, thanks.
Okay. Welcome to your final task, and So You Want to Be an Imagineer Season 20. This will be performed exclusively for the ceremony of it all. What is discussed here will not be shared with the jury until after the final winner votes have been locked in. The rite of passage is something I'm taking from Old School Survivor and Miss Dearly. In this thread, the final three will take one last reflective walk down memory lane and share their thoughts on every player in the season that has come before them. I encourage as much group engagement and conversation here as possible. This is meant to be a celebration of all who have come before you and how they helped you achieve the spot in the finals. The best quotes about each player will be read during tomorrow's winner reveal. So yeah, guys, it's a little something to kind of, occupy your time while you wait for the results to be tallied, something to reflect on, and also something to share with y'all when we do come back for our results show tomorrow. As of right now, Goofy, I'm going to have you be my little secretary and go around to all the jury conversations and be like, voting's open.
That's what I'm really here for.
But as of right now, guys, the voting is open. So in your diary room, go ahead and place your vote for one of the final three. And yeah, that's about it.
I wish we could do it for a reflective journey with each other, like on video, because it feels like so much more personal and like, I don't know, like the conversation is so flowy and natural. I don't know.
Okay, I just don't want it to. You know what we could do if y'all have time, we could go ahead and record it right now, but just not publish it until after. Because I just don't want it to potentially like affect jury votes. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to risk Pi gaslighting anybody into That's the big thing.
God.
If you guys want to do that, I don't want to like. I'm not trying to like.
Yeah, Pi OSU, are you down to do that?
Sure, I have some time tonight.
Awesome. That'll give me some time to kill before Survivor. All right. Everything in my life comes down to Survivor. All right. And I can also do some Russ Lando music in the background, too. I could be like, do, 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 do. No, I'm not going to do
that. Your hopes and dreams come true here, Tiki.
All right, y'all. Well, thanks so much. We will be back this time tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, for the winner reveal. Also, what I might do with that video is I might see if I can maybe like edit it into clips or something. We'll see what I can do with it, and then maybe play the clips. Like as we're going through the votes. I just want to have something special to commemorate the season when we're doing the vote reveal. So tomorrow's show isn't just like, okay, vote 1, vote 2, vote 3. So, I want to Ryan Seacrest this shit for all it's worth. All right. And also just, I know that it really probably doesn't make much of a difference, but I just wanted to kind of come on air. Like yesterday, guys, I was having a hard time, like mentally, reasons I don't really want to get into, but I can fully admit I was a little bit of an asshole with my kind of like pessimism about like, oh, no one's sending in questions. Poor me. Woe is me. So, guys, this was awesome. This went off without a hitch. I want you to know I am absolutely sorry for bringing that drama into things. I'm sure that nobody really cares, but I just want to acknowledge that up front. And yeah. All right. See y'all later. Bye. Mess with the Goofy, get the yuck yuck.